people say he's done something that goes beyond the pale, he will shake his head and give this answer without fail. A hoax, he says it's all a hoax. When at a press conference or with misspelled keystrokes, he says he tells no lies and that he never jokes. Confronting with the truth, he'll say it's all a hoax. A modern Don Quixote, he hates the windmills, claiming to protect the birds and whales he says they kill. But don't believe that story, it's really just a shill. He just did not want to see them wild golfing on Scottish hills. A hoax, he said it's all a hoax. When at a press conference or with misspelled keystrokes, changing a storm path with black marker strokes. Confronted with the truth, he'll say it's all a hoax. Casting mail-in ballots is something that he's done. Now he wants to ban them for each and every one. He claims it's for integrity in each election, but he won't believe the results unless it's him that's won. A hoax, he says it's all a hoax. When at a press conference or with misspelled keystrokes, they'll fool you with distractions like real sugar in Cokes. Confronted with the truth, he'll say it's all a hoax. He promised to release all the Epstein files that caused all the maggot base to react with smiles. But how long has he put it off? It sure has been a while, and now he's calling this a hoax, protecting pedophiles. A hoax, he says it's all a hoax. When at a press conference or with misspelled keystrokes, he'll keep on gaslighting up until he crooks. Confronted with the truth, he'll say it's all a hoax.
Trump piled debt, trillions tall. Promised Mexico would fund that wall. Praised dictators, said they're strong. Had Joe done it, they'd say he's wrong. Had Biden done it, MAGA would flip. Had Biden done it, whole numbers would slip. Had Biden done it, the screen fell play. But Trump did it, so it must be okay. Goes through crises, storms, and more. Called soldiers losers who died in war. Hired his kids to run D.C. If it was Hunter, they'd scream treachery. Had Biden done it, MAGA would flip. Had Biden done it, the numbers would slip. Had Biden done it, Fox News would say right vague. But Trump did it, so it must be okay. Love Kim Jong-un, he wrote love letters that take the guns first, lose those rights forever. Signed you spending bills with glee. Had Joe done that, it'd be tyranny. Had Biden done it, MAGA would flip. Had Biden done it, whole numbers would slip. Had Biden done it, they child up today. But Trump did it, so it must be okay. Kept secret files, countless untold. Said Putin's word was good as gold. Invited the Taliban to come to U.S. soil. If Joe had done that, they'd all recoil. Had Biden done it, MAGA would flip. Had Biden done it, whole numbers would slip. Had Biden done it, they'd want him to pay. But Trump did it, so it must be okay. Double standards loud and clear. Rules for Trump, but not for peers. What they call treason if Joe's the name is patriotism when Donald's to blame. Had Biden done it, MAGA would flip. Had Biden done it, whole numbers would slip. Had Biden
This just in. A sudden spike in logic levels across the city. Citizens report seeing a man with glasses and a podcast mic.
We go now.
Live to Liberal Dan.
Yo, who you gonna call when Nazi writings on the wall? Call your man Liberal Dan, cause you know we got a plan. The right wing talking shit, but he ain't about to quit. He'll take his proton pack and zap your logic cause it's whack. So who you gonna call when the writing's on the wall? Call your man Liberal Dan, and the rhetoric will fall.
It's being reported that Liberal Dan is setting up what appears to be some sort of straw man containment field.
He's calling out your lies with his mic, he'll vaporize. Cross the streams in your dreams, bitch, you know that he's too wise. You're like Slimer talking crap, but you walked into his trap. Yo, it's more than entertainment, it's misinformation contained. So who you gonna call when the writing's on the wall? Call your man Liberal Dan, and the rhetoric will fall. The Statue of Liberty, the writing you can see. So bring the huddled masses, it's a war of the classes. While Trump may think he's Vigo, Dan can cut through that ego. He's got the facts to prove him wrong, got that logic like Egon. Your logic is a ghost, cause you know this chick is toast. When you follow MTG, it's conspiracy, you'll see. There's no need to taser, he's got wit like Occam's razor. Liberal Dan cuts those lies with his Jewish-based laser.
It's unbelievable. Liberal Dan just used the literal dog whistle to lure a large group of internet trolls into what is being called a self-collapsing rhetoric singularity. In all my years of reporting, I've never seen anything like this.
So don't call to be a heckler, you ain't no Judge Rexler. He'll bust you like Scolary, cause your logic's looking hairy. Right-wing callers think they're cool, but they sounding just like Zool. You the dog, he the man, and yo, his name is Liberal Dan. So who you gonna call when the writing's on the wall? Call your man Liberal Dan, and the rhetoric will fall. Liberal Dan, Liberal Dan, Liberal Dan.
Proclaimed king, a groper in chief, stealing our country, a crooked orange thief. Faux patriots who are poorly educated, wearing red hats and also unvaccinated. Liberal Dan will see us through. It's the best show that you're not listening to. So when you hear the call, animals unite, Liberal Dan Radio, talk on the left, that's right. A failing media that's barely treading water, they're too inept to fight this new world order. Corporate pigs are at the trough, hear the squeals. The swine won't bite the hands that feeds them meals. But Liberal Dan will see us flow. It's the best show that you're not listening to. So when you hear the call, animals unite, Liberal Dan Radio, talk comes the left, that's right. A leftist voice on air, exposing MAGA treason, breaking through their lies with facts, logic, and reason. Unmasking hypocrisy, the truth will be our guide. Call out their lies, justice is on our side. Cause Liberal Dan will see us through. It's the best show that you're not listening to. So when you hear the call, animals unite, Liberal Dan Radio, talk on the left, that's right. Liberal Dan Radio, talk from the left, that's right.
welcome back to another episode of Liberal Dan Radio. Talk from the left, that's right. Your host, Dan Zimmerman, coming at you live from New Orleans, Louisiana. Join the conversation. You can either comment in the Twitch chat or the YouTube chat. YouTube is liberaldanradio.com. Twitch is twitch.liberaldanradio.com. Either way, you can take part in the show that way. If we open up the phone lines in a little bit, we may do so. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. I've had a rough day. Just put it that way. Just dealing with a lot of stuff. Like, if you remember the song about the We Knew song that I have, the Everybody Knew, and then he never knew the frustration of trying to deal with prior authorizations. Yeah, I'm having to deal with prior authorizations with my Zep bound, what has helped me lose and become the svelte individual that I am right now. I still have much more weight to lose, but still, I dropped 150 pounds because of Zep bound, and now I'm under my new insurance, having to fight and plead and beg to get them to do it right. And part of the problem is that my doctor's office, or the group that my doctor is part of, uses kind of a centralized system to try and submit these prior authorizations to the insurance companies. And the first time they did it under Blue Cross, they dilly-dallied on the appeal, and it took too long, and then I had to wait 6 months to get on the meds. So then now the problem is that they did it March 4th. I tried to get it as soon as possible because I was going to run out of pens. And they tried it on March 4th. It was denied. And instead of doing an appeal like I told them to do, calling in the phone number and saying, have the doctors speak to each other and explain why I need this medicine. No, these idiots at the doctor's office went ahead and put in another prior authorization, which is just a duplicate, and it got automatically declined instead of doing an appeal like I freaking told them to do. And I got some of them on the phone, but it's not the right people on the phone. And I basically was like, you keep screwing up, you keep doing this wrong, fix it, because I'm supposed to take another medicine, another dose on Saturday, and I won't be able to because of their dumbasses. So, yeah, Donald Trump has never had to know about prior authorizations, and maybe if he did, and maybe some of these politicians did, they would actually realize what the hell's going on and what, your average everyday American might have to go through in trying to get needed medication. And obviously I've needed, and obviously it's working for me, and then I'm going to lose access to it because people are a bunch of fucking dumbasses. Thank you, Aaron, for being a liberal Danimal for 26 months. Appreciate you regardless of that, but I appreciate you for that as well. Thank you so much. Let's see. Exactly. Hey, Jennifer, good to see you. Hey, Orvilby, Aaron, all y'all over on Twitch, and everybody on YouTube. We got Trump RX isn't any good for me, Chad, because Trump RX is not good if you have insurance. It's for people who are not insured. And also there's another problem because when I was having these issues and I was trying to get my hands on some like GLP-1s or whatever, like via Roe or those other sites that can get them to you for cheaper, Louisiana law, in their attempts to try and prevent people from getting abortion drugs via the mail, have now banned the sale of those too, because the Louisiana legislature is filled with a bunch of fucking idiots too. So you can't even get the alternative stuff. But yeah, I don't know if tirzepatide is on Trump RX, but again, it's not something that's with insurance either. So anyway, did we briefly hiccuped or whatever? Let's do it. Let's look at TrumpRx.com. and just see what we can bring up. TrumpRx.com. Let's see what it says, because we want to... I'm not even getting a page. Is it TrumpRx.gov? It's probably TrumpRx.gov. There you go. Zep bound. It's out-of-pocket price. You have insurance, check your copay first. It might be even lower. Blah, 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 blah. $300 if I want to get that, and then you have to get started on the direct. And basically, what they're doing is they're not even. This is so stupid. Donald Trump is such a fucking idiot. All Trump RX is doing when it comes to the Zep bound pen is it's transferring you over to the co-payment assistance plan that they have. It's not even Trump saving you money. It's another scam by him putting his name on something. It's not him doing anything other than redirecting you to a different page that I'm already a part of. I already have access via that page. Trump RX does me jack and shit. That's what Trump RX does. Does me absolutely fucking nothing. It's useless when it comes to this thing. So, which is Donald Trump is fucking useless, period, altogether. So there you go. Yes, and I don't even know if Jack left town. Yes, Jen. Hey, Fantan, good to see you. So yeah, let's just go down. We got Jeff, Steve from across the pond in the chat, Petrazi, Scott, Jackie, Bob, who else? Joseph, Roxanne. You don't have to put on the red light. Aaron over here as well. Anybody else that I've missed? Tim, good to see you as well. Was it worth a try anyway? Yeah, it's worth a try just to get me to fucking look at the goddamn thing and say, yeah, it's just another scam. I wonder what other drugs just transfer you over to co-payment assistance plans that already exist. Like, what a waste of fucking time if true. He's a loser at all things. He's a loser. He's terrible. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. And I don't like losers. I don't like loser presidents like Donald Trump. Anyway, hey, Nefarious Enough. Good to see you over here as well on YouTube. Let's see. Jeff, I should have named my son Jack shit. He would have liked that. Yeah. Oh Lord, we got Brelo in the chat again. What's Brelo gonna do? What projection is Brelo gonna put in the chat today? That ought to be fun. Again, remember Brelo, whenever you troll the chat, you're just helping the algorithm because Al Gore needs more rhythm. But we do have 18 viewers and 12 likes, so make sure to smash that like button as well to help the whatever. And this is what Brelo. It's funny what Brelo does is he posts something and then he's like retracted, and then he posts it again, retracted. Post it again, retracted. Can't even be somebody who's, not a coward and leaves all of the information up. And let's see, for some reason it was not on top, it's on live, so I might have missed some of your messages as well. So now I'm on full, right? So anyway, that's what I've been dealing with this week, plus a bunch of other stuff, like trying to get my kids to do work around the house and all this other fun stuff that, things I've been asking them to do for months, and fun. As Donald Trump says,
it is what it is.
Thank you, Donald. Let's start off today's show. We do have this week's Hypocrite of the Week. And let's flip on over to this one so we can have the little thing at the bottom like we're supposed to have at the bottom. So it's the same Hypocrite of the Week that I said that we were going to have this week, except, guess what? It's a different subject. So here we go. This week's Hypocrite of the Week is Donald Trump. He calls mail-in voting a scam. He calls mail-in voting a fraud. He wants to eliminate all mail-in voting. But what did he do? He voted by mail in the most recent election. Newsflash, Donnie boy. If you want people to think mail-in voting is bad, don't do it. Because remember, do as I say and not as I do is hypocrisy through and through. To see who next week's Hypocrite of the Week will be, tune in live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Central on LiberalDanRadio.com for more talk from the left. That's right. Anyway, that's this week's Hypocrite of the Week. It'll be up on YouTube later. I would have put it up on the Patreon first, but I got to recording it late or whatever. So anyway, So Donald Trump votes by mail. Any of you Trump supporters who want to defend this piece of crap on his hypocrisy here, please try and do so. It will be very amusing. Again, and he voted by mail one day after calling it mail-in cheating, and just about 0.000043% of all votes cast have been found to be fraudulent. Cast by mail have been found to be fraudulent. In August 2025, President Trump vowed on social media to lead a movement to get rid of mail-in ballots, claiming without proof that elections can never be honest if Americans cast their vote by mail. When time came for Trump to cast his own vote in Tuesday's special election, he chose to do it by mail, just like he did in 2020. The president hasn't abandoned his outspoken opposition to it, at least for other people. Mail-in voting means mail-in cheating, he said or I should say, mail-in voting means mail-in cheating. He said, and Donald Trump knows about cheating, just not, maybe on elections and also on wives, right? I call it mail-in cheating, and we've got to do something about it all. He wants to do something about it all mail-in voting, except I guess when he has to cast a ballot. He'll probably have the legislature, whatever, say nobody can do it except for me. The same day, Supreme Court heard a challenge to the Mississippi law that allows officials to count ballots postmarked by Election Day, even if they arrive slightly late. A challenge backed by the Trump administration. The court's conservative majority appeared poised to reject the law. Meanwhile, the president has prevented Republicans in Congress from negotiating with Democrats on a partial government shutdown because they wanted to leverage it to use the SAVE Act. I, as president, will not sign any other bills until this is passed, Trump declared on social media earlier in the month. So why is mail-in voting okay for Trump and not for the rest of America? There are states that do it completely all statewide or whatever. And actually, if you get your ballot in the mail, you can actually still drop it off at a drop box or at the registrar. You don't actually have to submit a stamp and put it in by mail. But you know what? If the people vote for it, guess what? That's what you get. In 2024, about 30% of all ballots were cast by mail. That's 48 million votes. In the 2020 election, nearly 66 million were cast via the mail. Since 2000, more than 250 million votes have been cast via mail-out ballots in all 50 states. Why does Trump want to get in mail-in ballots? Get rid of them. He goes back to the pandemic. For decades, mail-in voting wasn't seen as controversial or partisan. Republicans were typically even more enthusiastic about it than Democrats. But why? He saw it as a safe and efficient way to make voting easier for rural and older voters, a key part of their demographics. However, COVID-19 flipped the script ahead of 2020. Many states passed laws to expand early voting and mail-in voting. And then because of COVID, Democrats used it, which helped Joe Biden to win, which then made Donald Trump think, oh, it's a scam, it's a fraud. I don't like it. I don't like mail-in voting. Can you imagine if Biden tried to prevent Trump from voting in by mail?
Had Biden done it, MAGA would flip. Had Biden done it, whole numbers would slip. Had Biden done it, that scream foul play. But Trump did it, so it must be okay.
Anyway, back to the thing. Kid had a question to ask me, so anyway, yeah, Donnie, don't do rules. Exactly. Technically, I got there before you did. Let's see. Imagine if Biden wanted to eliminate voting by mail, but voted by mail himself. There you go. Yeah, I missed that. I missed you actually writing it. I thought I sniped it, but you sniped me. So there you go. A choice at every game. Thank you and welcome to the chat. Here comes Brelo's joke. Brelo's, my grandparents survived the Holocaust. I'm gonna waiting as to see why that is, because I'm sure it's going to be a lovely comment, Brelo. Let Aaron have fun with you today, I guess. So, but don't even necessarily need mail-in ballots for Trump to lose, right? Because we have special elections. Democrats score 2 upset wins in Florida special elections. Florida Democrats are celebrating 2 surprise wins from Tuesday's special elections, including one in a district that includes Mar-a-Lago, which is just enormously hilarious. I love it. I love it. I love that Donald Trump has a Democrat representing him in the Florida legislature. And I flipped a Hillsborough County. A Democrat, Brian Nathan, narrowly defeated Republican Josie Tomkow in a state Senate race. Democrats also flipped a Florida House seat in a deeply red part of Palm Beach County. Again, Hillsborough special election results. Navy veteran Brian Nathan pulled off a narrow win in the race for the state Senate, previously held by Republican Jay Collins. Collins was tapped to serve as lieutenant governor last summer, and the seat has since sat vacant. Nathan faced Josie Tomko, who gave up the Polk County House seat she had in since 2018 to run for the Senate seat in a neighboring county. While District 14 has changed hands several times between Democrats and Republicans. Collins won the district by 10 points in 2022, and since then the district has been growing with registered Republicans. However, the political experts did not expect the upset from a little-known Democratic candidate. And then the Palm Beach County, Emily Gregory won with more than 51% of the vote in a district that includes Mar-a-Lago. Trump carried that same district by 9 points just in 2024. It marks the first time in decades a Democrat has won that district, which makes me wonder whether or not the Republicans are going to rue the day, because Florida is still talking about redrawing the maps for the congressional races, and you're having Democrats winning these elections and swapping these seats with, swings, double digits one way by 9 the other way, so at least 19-point swings, if not more. You have other districts in other areas of the country that are swinging by even larger margins simply because of the fact that people are fed up and sick and tired of Donald Trump's BS. They're sick of it. They're sick of what is going on. Even the Republicans, they don't like that he campaigned on. We'll hear from one of those Republicans in a second as well. These Republicans are getting more and more annoyed at him, so maybe they're not coming out because they're becoming more and more disenfranchised, or maybe just some of the moderates realize that they've done messed up as well. Thank you, Alyosha, for the bits. Maybe they realize that as well, that they done screwed up, that they were sold a bill of goods, and they basically were convinced that Donald Trump was going to be, honest about something when, it's pretty stupid of them. But still, they're realizing the fact that, this isn't what they voted for. And as such, these districts that were already drawn to favor Republicans are now flipping to Democrats. And what happens when the legislature redraws the maps to try and make more Republican-friendly seats overall? They're going to end up making it easier for Democrats to win any one of those seats, because if they're flipping seats that are already gerrymandered terribly, imagine when the gerrymandering has to water down the safe Republican districts to make room for other Republican districts. Then you're going to make it even more likely that more Democrats are going to pick those seats up as things are going the way that they're going. So, and I hope that for them. I hope they actually get that done. I hope they actually manage to get that, learn that lesson. I hope they enter the find out phase in November of this year, because that would be amazing. So let's see. They might not have realized they voted for it because they're stupid, but they voted for it. True. Fansan, the dummy mander. Yes, that'll be great. It'll be the MAGA mander will end up being a demimander or whatever. Maybe say Joseph Winnie. No, that user is not okay. That user is very special indeed. Was fantasizing about how I eat Snickers bars last show. That's how special this person is. But yeah. So anyway, but and one of the other things that, they don't even have control. The Republicans don't even have control of their own people. They don't even have control of their own legislators in the Senate, because everyone's favorite Louisiana Senator, Foghorn Leghorn himself, Senator Kennedy, was sitting there and he was talking about what's going on with the funding of TSA and all these lines that are going on, and here's what old Senator Kennedy, I say.
Senator Cruz and I came up with a plan. We said, look, it's a two-step process. The Democrats have offered to open up everything but ICE. Ted and I said, okay, let's accept their offer. And then at the same time, we would offer a bill for reconciliation where we don't need any Democratic votes to do whatever we wanted to do with ICE. And that way we're out of the shutdown and DHS is back open. We submitted that, Senator Cthulhu submitted that to President Trump, as is his right. He said no deals with the Democrats. It would have worked. We could have had TSA paid by the end of the week, but the president said no deal. Senator.
And there you go. President said no deals. They could have had TSA being paid. They could have had it back opened. But what? What happened? Donald Trump said no. Donald Trump, the art of the deal guy, doesn't want to do any deals. The art of the deal guy wants to make sure that, I guess, the people continue to hurt at the airports. And maybe he hopes that the messaging that is being pushed by the Republican liars out there, maybe he's hoping that these liars will be able to convince the rubes that, it really is the Democrats' fault. But it's not. The Democrats proposed 7 standalone bills by themselves to say, hey, we'll vote for this if you vote for it. Let's get TSA open. Let's get TSA funded. Let's do it. And the Republicans are like, nope. We already saw Cornyn. He said no at a Texas airport when talking to one of the congressional representatives from Texas, one of the Democrats representing Texas out there. And now Donald Trump himself is saying, we're not going to do it. And you have Kennedy basically saying, hey, look, we had this plan. We had this all worked out. Now, I don't necessarily agree with the plan because it's, shitty to say, okay, well, we're going to make this deal. We're going to pass this, but then we're going to use reconciliation to get this other part as a cheat to work around the filibuster. That being said, Donald Trump said he's not signing anything unless you do the SAVE Act. So why are you having long lines at the airport? Why are you having to deal with this BS? It's because of one person and one person only, President Donald Trump. And why do you have President Donald Trump? Because of all the people who vote for him, who still support him, who still are having his back regardless of the shit he's doing to this country and how he's flushing everything down the goddamn toilet. So maybe Thune Johnson can convince whoever is running Trump's auto pen to sign it. Maybe, you never know. But again, the Senate's not going to vote for it if Trump's already saying no. Thune's not even going to put it up there, I'm sure, because why is he going to poke the bear, so to speak? Anyway. And yeah, ICE has funding. They just are wanting more funding. And of course, because how else is ICE working in the airports? But if you remember, Project 2025 specifically targeted TSA for elimination and privatization. So if y'all think that this is not being purposefully done and that Trump isn't pushing through Project 2025, he's still doing it, and he's still doing it in this particular way. Because that's the end game here. You make TSA go away. You make the airports then privatize the security, which is exactly what the Project 2025 had in the section about the TSA. So this is again more shenanigans and PR. I've never read the Project 2025. Sure, but you have other people telling you what's in it, and they're basically just saying it because they want to help you usurp more power than what you should have in our constitutional republic. Anyway, Brilo says it was better under private security anyway. Well, I mean, it's been a long time since it was, but still, we had this whole Patriot Act thing, and I'm so sick and tired of hearing the Republicans be like, I didn't support the Patriot Act, I didn't support it, it was terrible, it was horrible. No, Republicans got in line, got right in line, lockstep in line, goose-stepping right behind all of the stuff that was happening during the Bush administration after 9/11 in the name of so-called security. They had no problems supporting the Patriot Act. They were like, we're patriots. Of course we support the Patriot Act. We're a bunch of patriots. Why wouldn't we support the Patriot Act, right? I mean, and now afterwards they can now start. They now start claiming, oh, I never supported it. Bull. You absolutely. There are very few Republicans who I can remember ever criticizing it. It was really not the Republican types. It was the libertarian types who didn't like the expansion of government power. Those, and then, because I remember, looking at several parts of the Patriot Act way back in the day, and me saying, well, this isn't good, and me getting lambasted by Republicans, by conservatives who wanted to support this because you have to support it because it's part of the war on terror. So, because, having to take off your shoe at the airport, really fought terrorism. So, yeah, as Hall often says, Donald's concept of policies are the crayon version of Project 2025. Yeah, and I said that too when he was talking about he had Agenda 47 instead of Project 2025. And I said basically Agenda 47 is Project 2025 for dummies. Is basically how I've done it. Oh snap, Aaron! Aaron just served Brilo in the chat. Anyway, so. What else? What else do we want to talk about today? We got some other interesting stories. You had Facebook and YouTube losing today in court. They're, of course, going to appeal the ruling, but there was a multi-million-dollar ruling made on behalf of somebody who sued, Facebook and YouTube for making their algorithms and making their methodologies done in such a way to make it addictive. And as such, whatever. I mean, I don't necessarily know if I agree with the overall concepts of the lawsuit, but it's going to make things in interesting times here when it comes to the internet. We'll see how they respond to it, especially after the appeals go through or whatever. You have SCOTUS siding with Cox in a landmark music piracy case. Supreme Court on Wednesday ruled unanimously in favor of Cox Communications, setting historic precedent that internet service providers are not liable for copyright infringement if they fail to disconnect customers who have been accused of pirating music. Why it matters, the decision has major implications for the $17.7 billion U.S. record music industry, absolving ISPs of responsibility for pirated music. The justices ruled that Cox is not contributorily liable for the infringement of Sony's copyrights because it did not intend for the service to be used to commit copyright infringement. So basically, Cox is basically saying, they're using Napster's argument. Remember Napster or LimeWire or whatever? They're using the argument that was basically intended to be made by these other services, and then saying, look, we're just providing a file sharing service. It's not our fault if the people using these file sharing services are using them to transmit data illegally in violation of people's copyright. They were basically saying it's not our fault, and that ruling didn't sit well at all with them. But I guess since Cox Communication is a bigger company and has lots of money to be able to afford the fancy higher paid attorneys, they had no problem making the same argument. And the Supreme Court was like, okay, we'll agree with that argument now. Let's see, the High Court's ruling reverses a Fourth Circuit decision from 2024. Sony did not respond to comment, respond to a request for the comment. In a statement to Axios, Cox called the opinion a decisive victory. This opinion affirms that ISPs are not copyright police and should not be held liable for the actions of their customers. And after years of battling in the trial and appellate courts, we have shut down the music industry's aspirations of mass evictions from the internet. Mitch Glazer, chairman and CEO of the Recording Industry Association of America, said that it is disappointed. To be effective, copyright law must protect creators and markets from harmful infringement, and policymakers should look closely at the impact of this ruling. Sony, alongside of other music labels, sued Cox in 2018 over the pirating of music by Cox customers that said occurred between 2013 and 2014, alleging damages of over $1 billion. So yeah, it seems very well. That seems very interesting. And Axios is apparently owned by Cox Enterprises, which is the parent company of Cox Communications. That's interesting indeed. But it seems like the argument that didn't work for file sharing services like LimeWire, Kazaa, and all the other stuff, Napster, that didn't work for them. It seems to have now worked for Cox Communications. So. Jolie was feeling sick a little yesterday. I think she might be still feeling bad after stuff. Yeah, she was. Yeah, exactly, Chad. She wasn't feeling well. I think it more had to do with like dental work or something, other than just a general malaise or flu or whatever. But yeah. Oh look, Preload retracted the messages again. Boo-hoo. Can't handle it. Can't stand the heat. Stay out of the kitchen, right? Let's see. R.I.P. Wait. Aaron put R.I.P. and we got a gravestone on there. So if you put R.I.P. Joel, are you going to get a gravestone and a fish? Let's do it, shall we? R.I.P. Joel, and let's see what that shows us. There we go. We got a tombstone and a fish for R.I.P. Joel. Have fun with that, y'all. It's hilarious. Anyway, let's go ahead and, I know I tortured y'all last time or last week or so with Anna versus Pearl. And, we haven't gone back to that yet. But we do have to kind of look at this MTG on TYT, WTF, video, and this one's only like 7 minutes long, so no, Church to Game, we're not doing that one. We're doing this one instead. We're doing Yeah, this one is, oh shit, this one is my fault. Yes, it is atrocious at every game. So here we go. There's old Cenk Younger on the Young Turks. Why is my chat disconnected again? I don't understand why it keeps saying chat disconnected and reconnected, but we did have a little, I guess, hiccup of the internet right there, so not too terrible. Anyway, you're not going to see too many Joels because the video is blocking it. But here we go. The Young Turks and MTG.
That is a very, very low number. Representative Green, let me start with you. Should we have gone into this war?
Absolutely not. And I'm a 3-time Trump voter. I also campaigned with the president.
I'm a 3-time Trump voter, and I just want to shoot him with the space lasers now. You know, proverbial space lasers, not really. FBI, if you're listening, I'm not saying that that should happen. We only hope for natural causes here on Liberal Dan Radio. Talk from life, that's right. Anyways, let's hear more of what Marge has to say on the Young Turks.
President for the past 6 years in his 2020 campaign, also in the 2024 campaign. And this was something that we promised to America over and over again on rally stages across the country, was no more foreign wars, no more regime change.
And you believed him, as Dark Helmet would say, fooled you.
And that we would put America first. And I'm very anti-war. I'm largely against it. And I know
I'm very anti-war. I'm largely against it. They call me Large Marge sometimes, but sometimes I'm for it, but most of the time I'm against it.
Many of the people that voted for President Trump are against it as well. And I'll just say this, Cenk, we have not seen a good case laid out of why we're at war with Iran. And I think Americans...
And we can't go to war with Iran, technically, because the Constitution says that only Congress can declare war. President Trump can't declare war. No president can declare war.
Overwhelmingly are against it, and they really are more interested in seeing a larger focus on domestic issues. And it's just a shame that as we're going into spring break and summer, families are once again seeing gas prices rise, the cost of diesel rise. Farmers are being hurt by fertilizer costs rising because 30% of...
Well, all we got to do is get all the shit coming out of Trump's mouth, and that should give you enough fertilizer to you know, give the nutrients to all the farms in the country of America and then some, because he's full of shit. And if you don't get anything from the mouth, there might be some left in his diaper.
The world's fertilizer goes through the strait. So this is absolutely not what we voted for, and I'm very much against it.
Senator Turner, should we have gone to war?
No, absolutely not.
Let's see. Trusted every game. My prediction: MTG says fuck the Democrats. Nina Turner says fuck the Democrats. Even though I lost to Chantel Brown twice because I liked voting for Biden to eat. I likened voting for Biden to eating half a bowl of crap. Cenk goes, see, we agree. Unity. Fuck the Democrats. There's the unity. Exactly.
I mean, the Congresswoman and I are in total agreement. The impact of this nationally and also internationally, the whole notion of what affects one directly affects us all indirectly. It was irresponsible. The president certainly did not get authorization from Congress. It is really a shame that we have far too many.
I like prior authorization when it comes to medicine or when it comes to wars.
Congress members, especially of the GOP, who have abdicated their responsibility to be a co-equal branch of government. And when it comes to matters of...
You might have to spell out the word abdicated and explain what that means to Marge, though. I'm sorry, but you know, you may have to explain that to your other fellow panelists.
Of war, something that should really never happen, but rare if it has to happen.
Well, it's not Congress's fault, but well, it's Congress's fault for not actually, you know, stepping up and say stop it. But that's because the Republicans control Congress, and the Republicans are just sycophants for Trump.
It's the cavalier nature by which the president did this, and you know, standing up before Americans and saying to them, you know, we're gonna lose some people, as if the working class, it will be the sons and daughters of working class people in this country who will bear the overwhelming brunt of this war. And as we pivot into what is happening in the nation of Iran, to even look at the innocent civilians there that are impacted, the pollution to their air, to their water, to their food. And for us to think that there will not be consequences and repercussions, the bombing of that school that killed those little girls. I mean, you cannot war your way to peace. And the number one fact pattern that
Oh, I don't know, Pete Hegs's death, or I should say Keg's death at this point, basically says that bombs are our diplomatic measures or something like that. Like, really fucking gross. Really fucking gross.
I think the American people understand very clearly is that there was no imminent threat from this nation at the time that the president took action without Congress. It goes without saying that the regime is abusive, no doubt. You're not going to get any argument with that. But you don't war your way to peace in terms of trying to help the people of that nation.
That reminds me of what one of my old science teachers, or my thermodynamics teacher from high school, said, which was, "I can't teach you. I can't learn. I can teach you. I can't learn you," is what he would say. So you can't war your way to peace. Sounds like something else very similar to what he would say.
So the president was absolutely wrong, and the Congress needs to hold him accountable.
Okay, so far we've got Senator Nina Turner, co-chair of Bernie Sanders' presidential campaign, Marjorie Taylor Greene, you know, as America first as it gets, agreeing we should not have gone to war. But there's a lot more on the war that I want to talk to you.
It kind of sounds like me and Joe Gibson the other day when we were having our conversation. We agreed pretty much on, like, you know, 5 things in a row, which was amazing. It was incredible, like no one's ever seen. Anyway.
You guys about. Right now, the administration is saying that it's easy. In fact, Trump talked to G7 leaders, and he said, according to Axios, Trump told G7 leaders in a virtual meeting Wednesday that Iran is about to surrender. According to 3 officials from G7 countries, briefed on the contents of the call 24 hours later, Iran's new supreme leader issued his first public statement vowing to keep fighting. Now let me show you a clip of Stephen Miller telling the American people through Fox News, "Don't worry, we're winning easily."
Don't worry, or should be worried, Trump's crappy.
So let's watch that.
Tell us about the progress of Operation Epic Fury.
Well, I think it's important for your viewers, Jesse, and the American people to know that there's never in history been a more total asymmetric.
Hey, atrocious. Sometimes I cite Axios too.
One-sided annihilation of the enemy than you are witnessing that is unfolding right now in Iran.
Marjorie, are we winning?
I honestly don't know.
Hold on. Brilo in chat says, "I'm Jewish and therefore a victim." Ata medaber ivrit, ata Yehudi. Do you understand what I said right there? If you can say what I said, if you can tell me in chat what I said right there, then I'll believe you that you're Jewish. If you're not, then, you know, go F off.
If we're winning or losing, but the president told us that this would be a 4-day, he's calling it an excursion. It's turning into weeks. We're losing our great men and women in the military. 13 have been killed now. I'm a big supporter of our military and certainly praying for them and their families, who I'm sure are so concerned. Now we're seeing an escalation. I watched Secretary Hegseth's press conference this morning, and he talked about their...
Everybody loved when I was on the escalator. Why wouldn't I escalate more? Sorry.
Would be no mission creep. And then it was announced later on after that we're sending thousands of Marines to the Middle East. It seems to be to the Strait, which sounds like boots on
She actually said to the straight, not straights. Wow, so she's smarter than Trump.
the ground. So this is certainly an escalation, and you don't escalate when you're winning. You certainly don't need to escalate when you're winning. It's very sad, and I completely agree with the senator that the loss of life is a true tragedy. The innocent people that are being killed in Iran, that are being affected.
And if you're going to kill them, at least use the space lasers.
By their air, the quality of their air after the oil refineries were hit, but also the children that were bombed in the little girls' school. You know, here in America, our children are going to school and they're not being bombed. And none of this actually...
Well, unless, you know, they're in Jewish schools where you have anti-Semites targeting them, but, you know, hey.
...should be happening, but it doesn't seem...
Hey, Brilo said something right. MTG is an anti-Semite. There you go.
That we're winning. The war is ongoing, and it seems to be more of an escalation. And I just want to finish with this. I'll wrap real quick. This isn't a war for America. This is a war for Israel. And this was an unprovoked war. President Trump told us back in the summer that they had completely wiped out Iran's nuclear.
It was obliterated. I don't know what it means. Like, it's a new word that I made up. I don't understand what it means, but it was obliterated nonetheless.
Capabilities, and he chastised anyone in the media that dare questioned him on that. And so, no, I don't think we're winning. I think we're escalating, and I have great concern of where it's going.
Yeah, so as I said earlier in the Young Turks, it's not like they're about to take Albuquerque. But that doesn't mean that we're going to quote unquote win. Did we win in Afghanistan? Did we win in Vietnam and Iraq, etc.? Don't forget, Noble Mobile.
So there we go. All MTG, all 6B on the Young Turks. Now, would I have Marjorie Taylor Greene on my show? Apparently she's watched one episode of it at least, according to Joseph Gibson. Would I have her on my show? My wife would laugh right now because I said, would I? Anyway, the whatchamacallit, when I have her on, she'd probably have to make some comment where she discusses the fact that, you know, what she said about, you know, the pew-pews and how she, you know, she would need to basically come out and say, I apologize for that comment, Liberal Dan. I wish I would have worded it differently. I wish I wouldn't have done that. I was wrong for doing it, and I'm sorry. And if she would say that on my show, I would have that on to have her on my show, because I have people on my show. I invite people on the show to call in and be guests with whom I disagree with. That's, you know, having debate is a good way to do things. Of course, it's unfortunate that a lot of the people who are commenters on some of my videos like to, instead of, you know, actually coming to debate the issues, would be just like, you're fired. So there you go. It is what it is, right? MTG MAGA Epstein snapped her to reality. Alyosha, yes, she was, or at least partially to reality. I don't know if she's fully to reality, but she is at least partially to reality. But yeah, so there's that. What else did I want to talk about on today's show? Oh yeah, there's this story. Hold on, I didn't pull up that because by the time I realized that let's see. Oh no, can't read it on that site. So basically, we'll just have to deal with the AI shit, the AI coverage over. Christy Walton, a Walmart heiress, funded a full-age No Kings advertisement in the New York Times and other outlets around June 25th to promote civic engagement. Let's see, there was another one that was also done recently. This one. Billionaire Christy Walton appears to take out ad calling for ICE to release 70% of detainees. Walmart heiress Christy Walton appears to have taken a full-page ad in Sunday's New York Times calling to release the reported 70% of people in immigration and customs enforcement custody being held without a criminal record. In her latest public display of opposing the Trump administration, the ad begins with reprinting of the text of the Fourth Amendment, the clause in the Bill of Rights protecting Americans against unlawful searches and seizures and requiring probable cause for for warrants. So the Waltons are now rejecting this bullshit and are calling for ICE to, and are, airing No Kings ads too. Like, crazy. It's absolutely crazy that we're having these people. Let's see. This person in on the Facebook post with this article. Wait, where's MAGA gonna shop now? Thank you. Okay, maybe I won't be mad at Walmart this week. Let's see. Full page ad in the New York Times means it gets seen by how many people? I mean, it's the New York Times. It's the periodical of record or whatever it's called, right? So, MAGA infighting everywhere. MAGA in disarray. Yes, disarray, data array, every array, or whatever. What else? Oh, Big Hook had asked something earlier. Let me see if I can scroll back if it's still there. Did you catch the Anna Kasparian on a panel when she told 2,000 soldiers and civilians, when told that 2,000 soldiers and civilians were hit by missiles, she replied, "What's the matter? You not getting the war you wanted?" I mean, you know, that's a, depending on who I would be speaking to, would be depend on whether or not I would say it's a good rhetorical point, or whoever she was actually speaking to would depend if it would be a good rhetorical point or not. Simply because of the fact that, you know, if I was talking to a MAGA convention, I'd be like, this is what you voted for. You did vote for it. You said no. That's the thing. That's one of the things that I guess these Republicans really need to be have hammered down their brain into their brains, or whatever exists between their ears, is that they like to claim, well, I didn't vote for this. I didn't vote for this. Yes, you did. Just because you didn't realize that you didn't realize that you were voting for it, but we tried to tell you what you were voting for. We tried to tell you exactly what would be happening, and y'all didn't want to listen because y'all thought we had TDS. We have TDS. Well, it's not magically not TDS when one of y'all decide to change your mind and say, oh, maybe Donald Trump isn't doing things like the way he told us he would do them. Right? So, it's ridiculous. I did have something I did want to thank. I did want to make sure I do my patron thanks, because we have a new Liberal Dan Radio patron. Surprisingly enough, magically enough. Let's see, active. We of course have Arizona Sunflowers, Robert Reynolds, Jolie, Aaron, and Cesar, but we also have Cheryl. So thank you, Cheryl, very much for supporting the show. Unfortunately, Arizona Sunflowers has a death in the family. I'm very sorry to hear that. Anyway, but shouts out for Arizona for all those support, all that she has given me over the past tenure during, as she's been a Liberal Dan Radio patron. You could be a Liberal Dan Radio patron too. Patreon.com/LiberalDan or Patreon.liberaldan.com. Either way gets you there. You know, support the show other ways. You could Venmo a Liberal Dan on Venmo, Liberal Dan Radio all over social media. Substack, there's a Liberal Dan Radio Substack. I'm trying to think about how to do that more. Chad, thank you so much for the 5 Liberal Dan Radio sponsor or memberships. Appreciate you for that gift. I'm sure they will appreciate it as well. Trust at every game. I'm having a cross-platform conversation with Chad. That's funny. So that's very funny. It's very funny though that you have the combination of the two chats come together. So even though one's on one platform, the other's on the other platform, it can merge together and form an ultra chat. So let's see. I don't know if we are going to 1, 2, 3, 4. That's weird. I only see, it says it gifted 5 Liberal Dan gift memberships, but I only see 4 listed. It's kind of strange. Is it like, did they cheat you out of one, Chad? I don't know. But again, thank you for it. Unless you got the membership on top of it, I don't know. No, you didn't do it because you didn't give it back to you. You think it'd give it to you if you gifted it, but you know, I guess it's a gift. So Chad's at about a 53% approval right now. With that approval rating's higher than Trump, that's for damn sure. So when Twitch sends their people, they're not sending their best. Whether it be Twitch or TikTok. Yes, they did cheat you, Chad. They cheated you out of one, unless for some reason they gave it and then magically just didn't show up on the screen for some silly reason. I don't know. So, let's see. What else to talk about today? Because, again, I had a very long day and a very rough day, and I'm not very happy again with the insurance as we've talked about. So this may very well be a short show. I don't know. I mean, we did have 29 viewers, which is kind of standard for a regular show. Oh, and there's Chad becoming a Liberal Danimal himself. That's awesome. Did you just add that, or did it add you as the 5th? That's inquiring minds want to know. So, let's actually, we'll do this. We'll do this for a brief second. We'll give Big Hook an opportunity to call in, or anybody else an opportunity to call in as well. 562 libdan1, 562 libdan1, 562 542 3261. I do want to apologize to Big Hook. I might have fat fingered a phone. I don't know if you got the phone call or not, but I may have fat fingered a phone call to you. You know, I hung up pretty quickly, but for some reason it hit before I saw it, and it might have rung once. So let's see. You added it. Okay, there you go. And you have a nice little gold little sticker by you. That's awesome. Anyway. But yes, 562 libdan1, 562 libdan1, 562 542 3261. I've magically gotten a few gifted memberships, and I wasn't even watching when I got them. I got one for like the Shmuley Show. I got one for Boston Brian. There's, I think, another one that I gotten. I think Riverboat Jack, somebody might have gifted me a membership there as well. So, you know, it's cool. So anyway, again, you can call in 562 libdan1, 562 542 3261. Ugh, tired. Let's see if it shows up under viewer activity. It just shows what the activity was. It doesn't show who got the gifts in the viewer activity tab I have over here. So anyway, it is what it is. It is what it is. Josh goes, I'll call in a minute. Let me pee. Well, while you're peeing, we have Big Hook calling in. And that time it actually rang. The phone actually rang. Good to hear from you. Big Hook, how are you today? What's shaking?
Not much. I'm just, you know, following along and watching the chaos occur daily. It just, like, I want to know what kind of a mind comes up with all this crazy shit that Trump just keeps doing repeatedly. You know, I mean, the thing is that he takes everything that could possibly be good or beneficial to people, and then he just destroys it or turns it to an evil purpose. I'm not sure if you saw the one there. He was using humanitarian aid, such as AIDS drugs,
right,
and was going to use it to leverage African countries to sign off their mineral rights to his sons. You know, like who does that? I mean,
assholes.
We already know what he did. He did the USAID, and I mean that's going to result in 12 or 15 million people dying because of hunger, as well as you know, easily treated diseases. Because I mean that's where the vaccinations come from. You know, that was America's signal that we are a decent and loving country to the world, and this is our contribution to the world. Therefore, we should be weighed on the good things we do as well as the bad things that we do. But you know, at least there was some good out there, and he has completely taken that away. So now you're only going to be known for horrible things. You know, I mean, I don't know what you do with it anymore. I mean, it's not like it was a whole lot of money. It's not, you know, but there's nothing there. And I mean, you have those Doge guys that were like, oh yeah, but I think I can cut $1 trillion from the deficit by eliminating social services and you know, things that help the poor and the you know, the public, you know, as well as fund government agencies and everything else. And you know, it's like, do you understand how money works? You know, like
they don't know.
Yeah,
Trump doesn't.
I mean,
Trump doesn't have to understand, because he has my people to handle the money, as he says, right? So he doesn't have to worry about how money works. Other people, Excuse me, other people do that for him. Had to sneeze. Sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, this is just it. I mean, this is a guy that went and 2 years of his first term paid $750 in taxes for 2 of his years as president.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how on earth do you do that and then go, oh yeah, but he's the best president on earth? It's like, you know damn well that Obama and Biden paid the correct amount, and he didn't pay any of it. And then he claims everything that he owns is covered under losses. Oh, I'm running this huge casino that keeps losing money all the time, and you know, as a result, I deserve to get all these tax breaks, even though there's no evidence of it. You know, I mean, we know his golf courses don't make any money, but, you know, I mean, outside of that, I mean, and I mean, now he's recouped over $4 billion.
Well, you know,
and there's way more that we don't know about.
The purpose of corporations tends to, especially if they're not publicly traded corporations, is not necessarily to have the corporation make money. It's to have the owners make money, and then who cares? Who gives a shit if the corporation then goes the way of the dodo? Again, that's what the media has always failed when it comes to reporting on Donald Trump and his handling of his casinos, especially, is because they want to say, oh, he ran a casino to the ground. He was a bad businessman. No, he was a con artist, and he abused our laws to enrich himself at the expense of others. So.
Yeah, but I mean, that's just it, you know, and I mean, he's, I forget what his name is, but he was saying before, Trump has been long time criminal, whether it be through Russian money laundering, whether it be through, I mean, he had those investors who invested in his casinos, and, you know, they came and basically said, we want our money back. We're pulling our investment out. You lied to us. And mysteriously, for some reason or another, all of them were on the same helicopter that crashed. Mm-hmm. With no survivors. You know, like, you can't make this shit up. You know, Trump, you know, you put 2 and 2 together, and eventually you come to the right answer. That, you know, it's not you know, as Malcolm Nance says, coincidence takes an awful lot of planning, you know, and that's the thing with Trump. Everything, oh, it's just a coincidence that I'm in the Epstein files. Oh, it's just a coincidence that all these women say that I sexually assaulted them. Oh, it's just a coincidence that, you know, I don't pay taxes and I cheat on things. And, I mean, and, you know, this crypto scam is so that way he can basically move the money secretly, because there are, you know, within the crypto world, it's easy to shuffle the money around and hide it.
Right.
You know, and that's just it, you know. So they'll say, oh, well, they'll criminally charge him, and then they'll say, okay, now you have to give the money back. And he'll be like, what money?
Yep.
Can you find it? You know, and that's just it. You know, it's the biggest scam ever. And it's annoying because everybody can see it except for these people who refuse to see anything, because, you know, they want to live in the Fox television network or the OAN network or the, you know, whatever. You know, they want to live under the precept of lies that agrees with their white supremacist, you know, view of the world, or that they are somehow the chosen ones who deserve everything because
just like their Fuhrer, you know, they lack object permanence, and so if they can't see it, it doesn't exist, right? I do have to make a comment. Though, on Mike and Jen's journey on YouTube. I did see the comment before it got deleted. Blame everything on race, religion. You're a big loser. Sorry, no. When I see anti-Semitism, I call out anti-Semitism. I'm not blaming everything on anti-Semitism, but I am going to say that when Donald Trump says that he only wants the money, his money counted by the people wearing yarmulkes instead of black people, that he's being both anti-Semitic and racist. And if you can't see that somebody is being anti-Semitic and racist by making that one singular comment, then the problem isn't me. The problem is the people who can't see that that's racism and that's anti-Semitism. That's clear as day. I don't know. The idea that Jews handle money well is a constant trope throughout the history of this planet that has been used to make us the victims, actual victims. You know, not like us playing the victims like y'all say, but made us actual victims because it perpetuates the stereotypes which has been used to justify violence against us. So if you can't see that, frankly, go fuck yourself. Anyway, continue, Big Hook.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Within every racial or religious group, there are good and there are bad people, you know? And it's not just, you know, and that's just it. You can't say, oh, I met one really bad Jewish person, therefore all Jews are bad, you know? I mean, because that's not the way it works. By the same token, I can't say, oh, all white people are white supremacists, because you know, that's not the case either. You know, you only find out these things based on, number one, whether they say it out loud, or number two, by their actions, which speak louder than words. You know, and that's just it. There is so many things that are out there. I mean, I saw a video today on YouTube where a guy walked up to these two guys that had just finished doing the landscaping work for a customer for over 10 years, and he approached them with a rifle and said, "Oh, you need to leave, or you know, if you don't speak English or Espanol or whatever," and he literally stuck the rifle inside the window of the car and shot both of them. One of them died. You know, like, and you say, oh, well, there isn't any hatred out there towards these people. And it's like, yes, there is, because you guys constantly repeat these lies that, you know, that they are stealing jobs that you refuse to do, that you don't want to do, that you refuse to do for the amount of money that they're willing to do it for. You know, like, it's such an oxymoron, because they go, oh, but you know, white supremacists, oh, we're Christians, yeah. Oh, yeah, by the way, we believe in capitalism. Oh, capitalism is everything. And it's like, this is everything you just said is a lie, because if capitalism was true, then you wouldn't behave that way. They are working the jobs that you refuse to do it. Therefore, they are respecting the rules of capitalism. They're doing the jobs that are there because you guys don't want to do it. And as a result, your life improves. It gets better. You know, by the same token, we're doing the same thing to the Chinese. We buy all their cheap goods because they do it for far cheaper than we could possibly do it over here in Canada or in the U.S. And as a result, what ends up happening? Our standard of living improves, but their standard of living doesn't necessarily improve.
Right.
All they get is, you know, an 80-hour work week with no guarantee of retirement or health care or anything. I mean, that's another lie that they're told. They're told that, oh, the health care over there is free. It's like, no, it isn't. You have to pay when you go to the hospital. You know, I mean... Right. And this is just it, you know, like, they're sold this big bill of lies, and they just constantly repeat it, and they don't know jack from shit. And the thing is that it comes down to doing a Google search and then having the capacity as well as the vocabulary to understand what the words are and what they are telling you. And these people cannot even be bothered to do that, you know. And then they get upset when you fact check them, and they say, "Well, where's your sources?" And then you give them your sources. Well, those must be Democrat sources. Therefore, they're lies. And it's like, you know, like, how can you deal with these people? Like, how can you deal with that? I don't want to believe anything, you know. anything you say is a lie because it's the same thing. Oh, I'm not a racist. You just called me a liar, and you based that on a definition that I'm a Democrat or I'm a liberal, therefore I must be lying. And it's like, that's not the case. What you're doing is discrimination, which is a trait of being racist. They cannot. They say, "Oh, don't call me dumb," and it's like, you don't even understand the meaning of dumb.
If it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, guess what? Shut the duck up, right?
Well, exactly. And I don't know what else to say. It's just frustrating beyond words. And then that stock trade, just 10 minutes before Trump came out and said, "Oh yeah, I made a deal. We're not going to bomb the energy facilities over there in Iran," and all of a sudden there's over $1.5 billion in trades that went through. And you go.
He's doing everything that he can to enrich himself and enrich his rich cronies. That people are making these deals, and no one's going to get in trouble because they'll just pardon them. So,
like I said, it's going to be a pardon palooza when he leaves. Or if you say, as you say, the clock gets him first. Yeah. It's not going to matter because he's probably, like I said last time, he's probably got them already done. Pocket pardons for everybody,
Yep.
And this is just it. And then the question is is it going to be better or worse? Because if JD goes to follow him, then we're under Peter Thiel's and Elon Musk's thumb, and we know exactly where they stand. They're the South African mafia, they don't mince words as to what they think, when asked, did Peter Thiel think eugenics was viable, he refused to answer. And he goes, but that's a difficult subject I'd rather not talk about.
Right.
Like, fuck off. We know exactly what that says about you, because if you didn't believe in it, then you would have an answer ready there, and you would defend your values, and you would talk forever about how you're not what you're being portrayed as. And that's never the case. It's always, oh, well, I have more money than you, therefore I'm superior. I believe in the wealth gospel, and I was meant to inherit the earth because I'm somehow better than you, even though I had more opportunities as well as more capital as well as everything else. It's just, and the thing is that it's just random. That's the thing. How many businesses succeed and how many businesses fail, and it's just random, Right. Yes, you can pick a good idea and you can find something that a niche within society that isn't being fulfilled, and you might get something that catches on. But like certain toys catch on, certain toys don't. Some toys die out. Some toys, and then the same thing. Like, for example, Monopoly. What was it supposed? It was supposed to teach a totally different lesson than what it is actually teaching, which is, oh, greed is good. Greed, in order to win, I have to bankrupt everybody else and have all the money to myself while you guys go, die out with nothing. Right. I don't know. I really worry where we're going, and like, he paid $1 billion back to
the French company for the windmills.
For the windmills.
Yep.
Who does that?
Trump, because he's obsessed with fucking windmills.
Like, that easily could have. I heard, what was it? the ones that were supposed to be off the coast of North Carolina were supposed to have been able to power over 30,000 homes per
Who
year.
needs that? Because, you know, they have coal. Ugh.
I know. You're shaking your head as much as I am, because we're like, where are we headed? Because, you know, as far as I can see, we're headed towards hell of our own making, because
we're going to hell in a handbasket. We're going to hell in a handbasket, and that's not Helena, Montana either. That's the other one.
Yeah, I know, and that's the thing. We're destroying the planet at such an accelerated rate. I mean, you know, and it's not the vehicles that are going to make the difference. It's all the things that we do otherwise. You know, I mean, the vehicles are going to make some difference, but I mean, in the end, I mean, if we don't have, you know, electric cars, but if we don't have a way of producing the energy necessary to power electric cars without adversely affecting the environment, then it's not even a win. You know, I don't know. I hate being a pessimist. I really do, but all I see are people who think, oh, it won't matter because I won't be alive when the true suffering begins, because I'll have made all the money that I possibly can and I will be able to run away. Oh, I mean, what's his name? Peter Thiel already has property and a bunker made up in New Zealand. Mm-hmm. So the fucker already has an exit plan. He's going to destroy everything that's here, and then he's going to fuck off to go live in his own, you know, paradise that he's built for himself. And you know damn well it's going to be solar powered,
right?
You know, and that he's gonna make it environmentally friendly, and that he's gonna, you know, whatever, you know. And I don't know. I really wonder if you guys can survive another almost 3 years of Trump. Because at this rate, I mean, they're already saying that for every week that the war drags on in Iran and the oil doesn't get out,
right?
I mean, that adds, for every week that goes on, it adds an extra 100 days to how long it's going to take before the price of gas will get back to the levels that they were at before he started this you know, disaster of a war, which he's going to lose whether he realizes it or not, you know. And that's the thing, you know. He can't admit defeat, but, you know, I don't know what the outcome is going to be. Because if he sends those Marines in and on those islands, you know, they're going to see when they're coming. And if they're going to be parachuting them in, guess what's going to happen? Mm-hmm. You know what? They're going to send those Shahed drones up there, and they're going to set them so that way they explode just as the troops are coming down, you know. I mean, they've got 80,000 of those things, and they can produce up to 100 a day underground, you know.
Right.
And they've got a 1,700-mile range, so it's not like they're limited. They can, so they don't necessarily even have to launch them from close to where they're going. They can do it in advance. And if Russia is telling them, because Trump is telling Putin, you know, what's he doing? He's sending your sons and daughters to their deathly end. You know? And the question I have is, will that be the wake-up call that's necessary to get him out of office and to get every one of these Republicans out of office? Is when Americans die at the hands of Iranians via intelligence provided by Trump himself to Putin, which then directly goes to the Iranians? Mm-hmm. Is that the final line in the sand that's going to end this? charade of greed and corruption, you know. I mean, I don't know how much more evidence you need. He has so much evidence against him. And I mean, I saw the thing there as well. They're finding out that some of the documents that he took when he had at Mar-a-Lago,
right,
those were of the Middle East, and that was so that way he had material to give to them, so that way they would fund his golf tournaments.
Right.
Because he was in such financial dire straits after the first term. Because he spends money like a billionaire. That's the problem. He isn't a billionaire, but he spends money like a billionaire, and all of his investments are shit, and they don't make money. They lose money. You know? I mean, he is, but the thing is that he's failed upwards his whole fucking life, and this is the only way he can fail upwards still, is by basically selling out all of America's secrets. You know?
Right.
I don't know.
Well, you know.
Anyway,
I agree with you.
I feel like I'm the Grim Reaper every time I call in. But you know,
well,
I can only tell you what I see.
You're more of the Paul Revere, I would say. You're less Grim Reaper, more Paul Revere. You're calling that the assholes are coming, and you're telling us what's coming. You're not actually causing the death. The Reaper would be the idiots from the administration that actually follow through on his boneheaded policies. But anyway, let's open up the phone line for maybe another person to call in or whatever if they want to. Give it a couple minutes or whatever, and then I'm probably going to end the show by 9:30 at that point because I have some stuff to work on show-wise, and then I want to get to sleep a little earlier tonight. So. Yeah.
Well, anyway, take care, Dan. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to speak and air my grievances.
It's not even Festivus, and we have the airing of grievances here on Liberal Dan Radio, right?
Well, you know, I mean, the thing is, and let me put this out there. All you doctors and nurses that are aggravated that you're going to lose your jobs and everything else because of all the health care that's being denied and everything else with the upping of the premiums and everything else, and you're looking for a better life, guess what? Canada wants you. We've already had a whole whack of you come up here, and we're more than happy to have you come up here. You know, that's the thing. We appreciate and we love our healthcare workers here. And the doctors that have come up here have said the same thing. I love not having to fight for my patients with insurance companies. I order a test, it gets done, I find out the result, I send the patient home with the medication that they need, and that's it.
Look,
everybody is happy.
Same thing happened here when they had the expanded Medicaid coverage during COVID or whatever, and they basically allowed us to stay on Medicaid for, you know, even longer than maybe what we should have been able to. I mean, I was honest about my situation, and they're like we're not cutting anybody till after the pandemic is quote over. And my wife's doctor was very upset about the fact that you know, she was going to lose the ability, because she said with more of her patients under Medicaid, she was able to get the needed tests. She was able to get, you know, the procedures done, and she didn't have to sit there and fight with these people to get it done. Meanwhile, private insurance, new insurance, prior authorizations suck. So I'm seeing, again, I'm getting this again firsthand as to how the private insurance industry just seeks to constantly screw over the little guy, or in my case, the not so little guy. But anyway, thank you, Big Hook. Have a great rest of your day, and I'm sure we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay, take care, everyone.
Right,
bye.
Appreciate you. Bye. All right, Big Hook, everybody. Again, we're gonna leave I left this thing. I always forget to put this thing down so people don't call in. Fortunately, it doesn't happen that much. But if we'll give it a few more minutes till at least, you know, maybe 9:30-ish. 962, or not, 562 libdan1, 562 libdan1, 562 542 3261 to call in the show if you want to say hello, whatever. We're going to leave it open for a few more minutes whilst we go back and look at the chat or whatever. See, Brenda's the insane billionaire boys club intend to crash the world economy in dollars so they can push their crypto in the world. Watch this space. Pretty much. Yeah, they they love not being able to have their funds tracked because, you know, it's what they love. They want to be able to get it. They don't like paying taxes on anything anyway, so Canadian Big Hook will see us through. Canadian Big Hook will see us through. It's the best caller that you are listening to. So when he calls the show, Big Hook, would his supporters be big hookers, or would that just be not a good name to call people who support Big Hook? There we go. We got another phone call. We got Josh on the phone. What's going on, Josh? How are you tonight?
Hey, Dan. Is my audio okay here?
Your audio sounds good so far.
Okay, we'll go with it.
All right.
I've got a follow up on our favorite Canadian there. I've got a friend here, lives in Ohio, and he's a permanent resident from Canada.
Right.
And he's due to do he's like, why the fuck does this have to happen during this administration? I've been telling him for the past 10, 20 years. I'm like, why don't you get your dual citizenship? You've been living here your whole life. I mean, he's been here since he was like 4 or something, right? And he's like, well, you know, it only comes, I never thought he had to worry about it. There's a good chance he might get his permanent residency revoked. Like, he has to reapply, and he's like, fuck, this is going to cost me $600 or whatever the hell it is.
Wait,
I'm sorry.
So he's a legal permanent resident, but yet he can lose it?
Yes.
And what for?
It's not permanent. It's not permanent, but
okay.
Yeah, and then his wife and kid are like whatever his residency is. You know, I guess every 20 years he's got to do it, and here he is, and he's annoyed that he has to go through this, and he's like, everything is different. So he might be moving back to Canada as a result. And I've heard a couple of things in the news about other people. There was a guy in Michigan, had been 20 years at I think it was a aluminum foundry, like a vital employee that the administration was like, no, you can't stay. So I'm worried about my friend, and you know, he's got a wife and a kid.
It's deplorable. It's horrible. Like they're going after the wrong people. Like, again, they're going after the people who are not the worst of the worst. They're not. I mean, if they're really like, look, this person is accused of a crime, then this person had a trial. Oh, let's kick him out there. Fine, get rid of the shit. Get rid of the horrible people. Right. Don't get rid of the people who are not harming anybody, who are contributing. I mean, it was just mind-blowing to me the other day when I played that clip from George W. Bush basically saying that these people, the people who come here to do these jobs, are improving their economy. They're making America better. It's like Bush can see this, but yet these people can't. These people can't understand it. So bizarre. Did I lose you? Oh, yeah, there you are.
I'm here. I was just breathing.
Well, good. I appreciate you breathing. That's a good thing. So, man. Well, keep us updated on that one. Yeah. If he wants to call on the show and talk about the specific situation, I'm more than happy to have him. But unless he thinks that'll hurt his cause.
He's got until the middle of fucking June. And do you think they're going to be able to process that in this amount of time?
No, because they cut everything.
Yeah. Like, dude, you are fucked. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'll stop swearing. I'll let you go, Dan.
All right. Thank you, Vince. Yeah. Thank you, Josh, for calling in. Appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. Peace out. Bye.
All right. There we go. There's Josh. We'll leave it open for 1 or 2 more minutes just to take one more call or whatever, and then we'll go ahead and move on from today's episode, simply because I didn't get much sleep last night. It was or I got woken up in the middle of the night from something, and I, don't want to talk about it too much at this point because I was already, every time I talk about it or whatever, it's just a little, I mean, everything's fine, but there was a slightly scary moment last night for something, and we'll just leave it at that for right now. We're just going to leave it vague. So, sorry about vague posting. Let's see. Petrazi, my mom's a legal permanent resident. Her card expires in 2027, and I'm scared she'll get effed with. That's a damn fucking shame. Yeah, I didn't realize that you have to re-up yourself. If to me, permanent is permanent. Should mean forever. Should be unless you do something wrong, like unless you lied on your application status, or unless you committed some sort of major crime or whatever. But if you're permanent and didn't do anything wrong, you should still stay permanent. Should be as easy as that. So, but anyway, let's just go ahead and we're gonna hang up we're gonna turn off the phone line or whatever. Do that, and we'll just go ahead and end the show every 10 years. Damn. That's not permanent then, is it? It's just temporary every 10 years. Legal temporary resident. So, anywho, my daughter has been running fever all day and just got up from a 5-hour power nap. Gonna go get her squared away. Y'all have a good night. Good shit. And thank you, Chad. Yes, definitely take care of your daughter. We're ending the show anyway, so you're not missing much except for the outro music. So, again, thank you all. We'll be back here tomorrow night, same bat time, same bat channel, 8 p.m. Central here, liberaldanradio.com or twitch.liberaldanradio.com. Thank you, everybody, for, thank you, Chad, for the gifted memberships. Thank you, everybody, for supporting the show. Again, most important thing to do is to help the algorithm. Thank you, Aaron, as well, for being a member, a Liberal Danimal, for 26 months, on top of all the wonderful great things you do here for the show, for Liberal Dan Radio, Talk from Left, That's Right. Shouts out to Jolie. Hope she's feeling well. Again, if you have anything, like any of the bits that you want to see, if you have an idea for, like Liberal Dan Chopper City, or for Liberal Dan U, or the new investigative reports things I have been doing, if you have ideas for those videos, let me know, because I basically can create a video a day. Video a day, I would love to say a video a day keeps the Trumpers away, but that's unfortunately not the case. But, might even consider making videos for y'all as well, if, we'll see. We'll see how to do that. Already gave Jen one, but I maybe that thing like, hey, if you contribute enough to the show, I'll do a little AI work for you as well. So, anyway, thanks. Only problem with talking about Sasha Riley is that, again, some of the topic, I try not to get too deep into the Epstein file stuff, simply because of the fact that I don't want to, get flagged for content, so to speak, or whatever. But, I mean, we'll see. We'll see if I can do it in a way that it's not going to terrify me into thinking that I'm getting my content flagged. But we'll go there. Anyway, thank you all so very much for watching. Appreciate you. We will end the show with a few of the songs that we hear. Until then, have a great one. Peace.
He said nobody who healthcare could be so complicated. The Obamacare debate was 6 months litigated. Years of med school debt got capitalized. Insurance claim forms so high they nearly capsized. But he wouldn't know the frustration of trying to get prior authorization. Everybody knew, the whole world knew, the doctors, the lawyers, the CBO crew. Oh, 30,000 pages already reviewed. It wasn't a big secret, we knew. Don't realize Obama deported, but the porter-in-chief is what La Raza retorted. Obama went after the violent folks and felons, drug nabbed the dishwashers and people picking melons. But Donald's argument shows that he's not very bright. If Obama made some wrongs, 2 wrongs don't make a right. Fact check crew. We knew. He asked who knew a virus could be so contagious. Virologist blinked at someone so outrageous. He was surprised at how many countries existed. No wonder when the virus spread, he the one who missed it. Spread a map, slit red in every deadly hue. World Health Memo said we already knew. Everybody knew. Oh, the whole world knew. Oh, the lab coats, the leaders, and we were with the flu. Oh, the nations of the world, more than 192. It wasn't a big secret. We knew. You unveiled oxygen like contraband air. Right 6 there. You sat down, claiming to discover chairs. War called money was his big surprise. Iraq has oil, can you believe your eyes? He said, we are divided, a surprise to no one thinking. And he was most surprised a Republican was Lincoln. Everybody knew, the whole world knew. The Christians, the Muslims, atheists, and the Jews. Like being shot, they have edibles at the zoo. It wasn't a big secret. We knew. Everybody knew. Everybody knew. Everybody knew. Everybody knew.
Obama and Bush's pictures got hidden, obscuring the past, history rewritten. Hung in a hallway where no tour can see, confirming his unending fragility. If Trump can't see it, you must not exist. That also includes the Epstein list. Object permanent, a milestone missed. If Trump can't see it, he must not exist. The testing was the line that he said. Hundreds of thousands needlessly dead. Now HHS is run by brainworm quack, hiding the truth behind his back. If Trump can't see it, it must not exist. That also includes the Epstein list. An administration run by narcissists. If Trump can't see it, it must not exist. Of documents stacked floor to the wall, top secret folders in a bathroom stall. Charges were pressed, but the case was dropped. A corrupt judicial system he can co-opt. If Trump can't see it, it must not exist. That also includes the Epstein list. He'll swear it's fake news, a liberal twist. If Trump can't see it, it must not exist. Encampments downtown, tents lining the street. Invisible people that power won't be. Hide them away so the cameras can't find it. Proof of a system that's cold and unkind. Of chaos in secret, an NDA sign, an illegal bribe. Michael Cohen fine. Trump got fined too over his gag order, but she didn't gag, cause he was much shorter. It must not exist. That also includes the Epstein list. We can't let him win, we must resist. If Trump can't see it, it must not exist.
Gather round everyone and I'll tell you a tale about an orange-faced buffoon who should be in a jail. When people say he's done protect the birds and whales he says they kill. But don't believe that story, it's really just a shill. He just did not want to see them wild golfing on Scottish hills. A hoax, he said it's all a hoax. When at a press conference or with Miss Strokes, changing a storm path with black marker strokes, confronted with the truth to say it's all a hoax. Casting mail-in ballots is something that he's done. Now he wants to ban them for each and every one. He claims it's for integrity in each election, but he won't believe the results unless it's him that's won. A hoax, he says it's all a hoax. When at a press conference or with Miss Smoky Shrugs, they'll fool you with distractions like real sugar in Cokes. Confronted with the truth, you'll say it's all a hoax. He promised to release all the Epstein files that caused all the maggot base to react with smiles. But how long has he put it off? It sure has been a while, and now he's calling this a hoax, protecting pedophiles. A hoax, he says it's all a hoax. When at a press conference or with Miss Milky Strokes, he'll keep on gaslighting up until he croaks. Confronted with the truth, he'll say it's all a hoax.
Wee doggy, Liberal Dance Chopper City is back with another amazing deal for you. Tariffs are up, gas is skyrocketing, and the price of meat is so high even Willie Nelson is jealous. So for every chopper you buy from Liberal Dance Chopper City, we're going to throw in a case of all kinds of meat, including bratwurst, liverwurst, and knockwurst. We're calling it the America Wurst Special. Hurry before supplies run out. So head on down to Liberal Dance Chopper City and buy you a chopper today. Liberal Dance Chopper City is a fictional establishment, and with Donald Trump as president, we may already be the worst.
The creative director at WGSO had a little something he thought you should know. When Dan picked on his bits, Steve got real gruff. So Steve called Dan a flake, called him liberal dandruff. Steve thinks that his lines are really clever, but when do people ever like him? Never. Liberal Dan's got better lyrics, this is true. Listen and you'll feel like I do. Liberal Dan, his show is great. Miserable Dan, he goes live at 8. Liberal Dan radio, it's the best, cause Liberal Dan's head and shoulders above the rest. Steve's about to find out his mistake. In this feud, Dan's Kendrick, Steve is Drake. Dan might not be the world's best singer, but he's got more talent in his little finger. Steve thinks that his lines are really clever, but when do people ever like him? Never. Liberal Dan's got better lyrics, this is true. Listen and you'll feel like I do. Liberal Dan, his show is great. Liberal Dan, he goes live at 8. Liberal Dan radio, it's the best, cause Liberal Dan's head and shoulders above the rest.